Hi folks, this video has gone a lot longer than I wanted it to, so my apologies in advance. If you want to see the goodies that I collected at the Bangkok electronics markets in Bangkok, just fast forward to the last few minutes of the video and you'll see everything I picked up. But lots of fun stuff happens. We get to see some of the public transport in Bangkok. We visit the Bangkok electronics district of Bangkok, and we also have a snake capture in the front yard here in residential Bangkok. Let's go. Hi folks, I didn't think I was going to get another go at an electronics type video while I was overseas in Bangkok. But the other night, some friends took us to Chinatown in Bangkok, and they drove us past the streets where all the electronic stores were. Unfortunately, they were all shut because it was late at night. Had a fantastic meal and wander around Chinatown. If you're ever in Bangkok, Chinatown's the place to go. High energy, it never shuts, fantastic food, really great stuff. But looking at all those electronic stores that were shut, I thought, I've got to go back. And it's never been easier these days because we now have, from where I am here, I caught the Airport Link SkyTrain into town. Got off at, I think it was Makassar station. Underground metro takes you through all the major spots in Kuvat Road, all that great stuff. But we took ourselves down to the Ban More district, which is just near Chinatown. And I had a bit of a day of shopping. Started slow, but you know, things got the better of me. I started to buy stuff. So I'm going to do a bit of a show and tell of the stuff I've gotten. Look, maybe not the best prices, I'm not really sure. But, you know, when you get in that shopping mode, what are you going to do? So now I've got to get it all back to Australia, which is going to be interesting as well. So we're going to be a bit of a juggle with excess luggage and maybe having to ship stuff via another method, but we'll get there.
แล้วเขาทำไมเขาวิ่งหนีกันล่ะโอ้ยจับได้แล้วนี่ไวนี่ไวฮะโอ้โหได้เหรอเก่งจังเลยอ่ะโอ้โห
ขออนุญาตนะครับ
ไหนหัวเนี่ยหัวแอบอยู่โอ้ยกัดเสื้อเลยเนี่ยมันกัดเสื้อเลยเนี่ย
เสื้อมันหนาอยู่
โอ้โห
ใช่ครับใช่
เก่งมากเลย
Solder SMD setups. This one here is 1500 baht, which is about 75 Australian dollars. And it looks like they've even got the Aussie plug on them as well. Okay, if you ever need a remote control, this place has got you covered. Some transformers, various wattages, a heap of kits. In this supermarket style shop. Oh no, it started. I'm going to show you this haul when I get home, but we've decided to throw caution to the wind with regards to excess baggage. Some very old style coffee and lunch. We're right next to Chinatown here. Good deal. I want to have a look here quickly.
Want to ask this one?
No, I'm just looking. Just looking. I don't want to ask any more questions. It's too hard.
Now, I did spend a great deal of time asking people for one of these. Yes, the air variable. Because there's a lot of old parts in a lot of these stores that have been stripped out of equipment. And I thought, you know, I might get lucky and find the motherlode of air variables. But people are pretty cluey these days. And if they know what they're worth online, that's what they're going to sell them. And every person I went to just looked at me and went, mate, no one buys that stuff anymore. And I'm like, well, I buy it. Anyway, we had a go. Yes, that was not a sound effect. There was a rooster in the workshop. One of the great things that I found walking around this place was there was so much electronics that in Australia just would have been chucked out and would have ended up in e-waste or in landfill. And all of this gear was being refurbished. I saw a gentleman doing a juicer, speakers being refurbished and restored to their former glory. All of this great stuff happening, even old TV sets and new TV sets like LCD type displays, which you see on cleanup day all the time being tossed out, were being repaired. And that was a great thing to see. I didn't get a lot of footage because I don't mind filming myself, but you know, you have to ask people if you can film them, and some people will say yes even if they're uncomfortable about it. So it made me a little bit uncomfortable as well, but we did get a bit of footage, and it was just a really fascinating place to visit. And to see, apparently it's not as big as it used to be, which is unfortunate, and it seems to be getting a lot smaller as electronics becomes harder and harder to repair, I imagine. But there's still a lot of people there.
It's good to see people fixing stuff. We have the cores for the motors here being rewound.
เขาชอบ
ที่ออสเตรเลียคนไม่ซ่อมอะไร ทิ้งหมดเลย This is great.
ตามสบาย
ทำ leads.
Now, the Thai ham radio scene, there is a Thai ham radio system. People can get licensed. It seems that most of the activities happening VHF, UHF via repeaters and whatnot. Not a lot of HF happening. It's not a very, very common thing. And I don't think Australia has reciprocal licensing agreements with Thailand. That's something I'd like to see change. And, you know, you never know. I might try and be an ambassador of that change. At any rate, I did go around to quite a few communication stores, saw a lot of VHF, UHF gear, nothing amazing, lots of ICOM stuff. And when I asked about HF at one of the stores that stocked a lot of radios, they basically said, yes, we can get you ICON HF gear, but we would have to order it. And I don't think it was a very good deal at any rate. But I had to have a look around to see whether there was any bricks and mortar sort of selling of radios happening, and it appeared that there was a little bit, but you would need to order it specially, and you're probably going to buy online in that case anyway. I have seen YouTube videos of people doing CW here in Thailand. So there is a little niche group of people that do it. Unfortunately, didn't have the time to look them up and chase them down, but I shall do it one day when I'm here. Now, all the way along the side of the road, there was these little roadside repair stations, and people were rocking on up with, you know, TVs, radios, lots of stuff with motors in it. And these people obviously specialised in a particular area of electronics repair. and it was down and it was dirty, but they were getting results and people were coming and bringing their gear to them. So it was a really great thing to see. It was a bit like a scene out of a Star Wars movie or something, really. And nice to see that stuff still happens, and I'd like to see more of it.
We're being weighed down by the shopping.
Nah.
Cheers. Now, first cab off the rank is this enclosure. It's got some nice rubber feet on it. It's all metal. And I just thought this would be a lovely enclosure to put a transceiver or another project that I'm going to build. So that cost me the grand sum of 330 baht. You know, not terribly cheap, but I'll put in Australian dollars when I give these baht prices, approximate Australian dollars. But I just saw the colour of it. I just thought, how funky in 1970s is that? I've got to have it. So that's the first cab off the rank. Now, while I was busy shopping in the first shop we went to, which was on the actual outskirts of this Ban Mo district in Bangkok, I saw a whole load of kits, a lot of them covered in dust. It seems that, you know, children are not as enamored with electronics as I was as a child. But there was all these kits, and this was one of the kits that I got myself, and it is a 8-watt mono audio amplifier kit. And I just thought, for the sake of when I'm building transceivers and whatnot, comes with its own little heatsink. And I ended up buying 2 of those because whenever I'm building a transceiver, I quite often struggle with amplifiers. LM386 is always a devil of a thing to work with. This looks like it's discrete components, so I'm hoping that it works better than the LM386 solution. And I'm trying to see what the price was on this. This was 176 baht. And I got 2 of these because I thought I will use them at some point in time. This is one of the stores I went to. The gentleman was kind enough to actually offer me a reduction in price on this, and I can't remember what I paid for this, but it's a prototype board. It's got little dimples on the back that are for soldering, and that's the front of it. And I got 3 of those, and from memory they were, you know, I think we paid less than 300 baht for the whole lot, I think. They're about 100 bucks each, 100 baht each, or even less than that, I think. So it was cheap at any rate, and I'm happy to have that. You can never have enough Vero boards for experimenting and putting together circuits. This is a transformer, and it's a 2 amp transformer that is going to get me 2 amps at I think it says on the box 12 volts, but I think the transformer that I got is actually an 18 volt transformer. Gee, I'm hoping it is, because that's what I gave them to give to me. This is the transformer. It is an 18 volt 2 amp transformer, and I paid the grand sum of 270 baht for that. And for some of the Drew Diamond projects and whatnot, where he's using a power supply and a transformer, I just thought it'd be nice to reproduce one of those. I do have a 12 volt supply in the shack, but I thought it would be nice to have some that are mains powered as well. Why not? So that is the transformer. They had just rows and rows. Hold on, we've got a low battery warning. They just had rows and rows of transformers. It was just amazing, and I was very disappointed not to have more excess baggage to take them home. Another kit, and this was a regulated power supply, variable 0 to 30 volts, and I just thought, hey, it comes with a heatsink and everything. Thought that'd be a nice thing to have on the test bench, to have a regulated variable supply, and that came in at 275 baht, which included the all the necessary parts and the heatsink. So I thought, hey, that's a nice little thing to have, and hopefully we'll have a regulated supply for the test bench. Okay, another kit. Now this was a bit of an impulse buy. My wife saw it. She said it makes 3 chicken sounds: a cock, a chicken, and a hen. And we all know that the mascot for the channel, The Art of Engineering, is a rooster. So I just thought, what the heck? Let's make a little piece of electronics that makes a chicken noise. Now, we went to the AM radio section for repairing radios, and they had these little poly-variable capacitors, and I ended up getting 3 of these, because I'm thinking, you know, I'm all the time building these small CW transmitters that have a crystal that I like to pull in one direction or another. So I just thought, hey, what the heck? They're still reasonably easy to find. These were about 50 baht, so it's about $2 something each. Probably not that cheap, but you know, I just thought, what the heck? They look like they're a nice size, fairly chunky polyvariable for what you see around normally. The ones I'm buying from JCar are normally smaller than that, so I thought, what the heck, we'll grab a few of those. They're getting a little bit more difficult to find at times. And of course, some red LEDs, 14 baht, so less than $1 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. Probably not that cheap as well. But we're also passing a street seller, and we got a couple of lightning cables as well. You know, those things, you bust them every 5 minutes, so we grabbed a whole heap of those. So now for the piece de resistance. As I'm quite often working on through-hole component rigs, and I plan to get some more boat anchors and do some restores on them. And doing the recap on them is quite often a little bit of a pain in the bum, especially the desoldering. And I just thought, this is something that I've always wanted to own and just haven't sort of decided that I wanted to spend the money. And it's an LCD desoldering station, temperature controlled, vacuum pump, and I think it's cost me about 300 Australian dollars, which once again is probably not that cheap. But I saw it and I wanted it, and I was in a little bit of a shopping sort of frenzy. So we now have a desoldering station. Now the gentleman in question, I said, can I have a demo of it? I want to see how well it works. He was quite happy to abide by that, pulled it out, and we did a bit of a desolder on it. The circuit board worked excellently, so I'm confident that it's going to serve me well in the shack, and hopefully in coming videos you'll see me working on this desoldering station. Now I did go and look at some other stuff too. They had a signal generator, and that thing they wanted like 800 bucks for, and it was like 1980s. I think it had been in the cupboard since the 1980s. So once again, it kind of shows you how prices have shifted quite a lot. Thank you for sticking around right to the end of the video. I'd like to apologise for the production values. We don't have tripods, we don't have microphones, and we don't have lighting. But I just thought I'd like to share the little adventure I went on in Bangkok. 7-3, and this will be the last episode from overseas. The next one will be from hometown Sydney.